Welcome to Virus Bug Channel, and we are going to be telling another story. And today we are going to be so here's the story. And you can see all of this crazy stuff, right? Well, this has got something to do with it. Once upon a time, there was a man who had gone crazy. As you can see, he built something weird. There's lots and lots of dummies in a desert, middle of a desert, called the danger zone. But he didn't care if it was called a danger zone, because he didn't really care about anything that lived here. The only thing he cared about was getting something into this world. And something bad in this world. Although there were a few lives that lived in this world, his rotting world, as you can see. And he grew some life. But still not satisfied, he wanted to do something that would change this plain area forever. So long you wouldn't even know you were in Minecraft. Or at least what he planned. But he just ignored the fact that it could be dangerous, could be risky. Because he had already got all of the stuff he needed. So he wouldn't be worried. After all, he not only was crazy, but he also actually had the power to shoot weird looking stuff. And he was actually a hacker that had hacked him. But his craziness took over. And then it happened. All of the creatures that lived here tried to beg him not to, like all of the armadillos, but he just ignored them and got out a withering staff and killed the armadillos and picked up their scutes and said, "How do you like this? What I'm gonna do is gonna change this universe." And he placed the egg. Then started splashing it with some random potions, because why not? He splashed it with so much random potions. It seemed like some sort of ritual, but that's what it was. He splashed it with lots of XP. Accidentally though splashed it with a potion of quick growing, so the egg had already hatched. And it had happened. The Sniff was hatched. Yeah, that's seriously his name. The Sniff. And it had hatched real good. He was very proud of himself. He had finally made something good. He played it. And then wanted to capture it. So he used his capturer to capture it. No. He got out his metal gauntlet. And then started to capture it. As you can see, this metal machine just here is made for capturing mobs. And don't worry, he's not killing it. Well, at least, let's pretend. He punched it so much times, but it still wasn't dead yet. In a few more swings, it would not be dead, but he would have captured it. And it dropped a bit of XP, as it hurt him a bit, but now he had the spawn egg for it. Wondering where he should put it for a while. So, he built an enclosure an enclosure that it would surely like. But then he thought, it's special, so it could evolve at any time. So he done the grateful thing and made a reinforced thing for the creature. All reinforced. Every single part of it was reinforced. And he was planning on putting the spawn egg in here, so then his monster was contained. Although he made a few mistakes, thinking on how to build it to make it so it would feel like it was at home. So, he done it. By the way, this was a building tutorial. He thought it was a sniffer, so it will dig a lot. So, he put this down for the middle part, covering the hole. And then put down lots and lots of bedrock, because bedrock is so hard and this thing might evolve and then start trying to dig. So he'll need something hard, obviously, just in case it gets too big and then breaks it down. So he put down the bedrock floor like this, hoping he could spawn in the spawn egg and it would be happy with its home. He needed to make it as realistic as he could do, so that it would feel like it wasn't an illusion. Or at least what he thought. Keep on watching to find out what actually happened. So he put down all of the bedrock, thinking it would also look normal. Because what do you think happens if you dig too much? You hit bedrock. So he built all of this bedrock, put it down, so that then he had this 5 block by 5 block and actually 6 if you count the middle platform that he was going to fill in all of the stuff. And he wanted to make it simple, so that wouldn't take him too long to build. So he used deep slate and tuff to build the first part. The first part layer was made of coal. What was this called? Yeah, deep slate. And he was planning on making there be different layers, but just one bit of them. But there would be ores on them, so that the creature would know it's not an illusion, it's real. He also wanted to put down some lava, just to make it more realistic, and also just in case it gets out of hand. Obviously, the creature will want to dig, so he'll dig into lava and burn. As he was finishing the floor, the creature sneezed in his pocket, getting grossed out by it. He shouted at the creature not to sneeze in his pocket. The creature ignored him, and then it happened again. Another sneeze. Man became so angry he wanted to trap it in the nether forever, or somewhere bad. He just couldn't, because it was a creation that he obviously did not want to destroy. So he got everything valuable out, because maybe the creature would want some valuable stuff. Always a different pattern so that it wouldn't catch on to anything. And then put down a few deep slate redstones in a strange looking pattern. Weird, isn't it? Well, you don't want an unimaginable powered creature to come charging at you. So, he just needed to do it. There was no choice. So, he kept on putting down some more stuff like iron in a straight line, and then broke 2 blocks, it was iron, and it was looking good so far. And then put down some deep slate lapis, like this. And then finally put some lava down. Just because this was his tiny simulation and he wanted it to actually have danger in it. For the lava pattern, we're just gonna try and, go around everything. And he wanted it to look as natural as possible, so that the creature wouldn't catch on anytime soon. And no, it was an illusion. So he just carried on placing down. Until the first layer was complete. Yep, it was complete. By the way, you can follow my steps if you want to remake this in your world. So, he made the next layer. He wanted to make it out of tuff. And some stuff he would feel you would find in that layer. So, he looked in his inventory, finding sulfur. But obviously, he wanted to use it. So, without a doubt, he started building the sulfur cave, but then realised it might get burned down by lava. So then continued on with his idea. Putting down lots and lots of tuff. Because the Sniffer, he knew Sniffers like tuff. They like digging it up. He wasn't sure about this Sniffer though, but surely it's a Sniffer. Right. But little did he know, it was just beginning. And he also had his Sniffer spawn egg just in case. Because you never know when you need a relative of your creation thing. And then he finally made calcite outside, also with some diorite. No. Oh. Huh. I think I forgot. Oh, wait. Or basil. Or is this natural? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with smooth basil. And he built somewhere. He built an amethyst cave. Making it look normal, he shaped it as a square. Because this is Minecraft, circles aren't a thing. And it was close enough. He didn't want there to be too much minerals, because then the Sniffer could surely dig them up. And then get way too strong from them. So he just put it down. And as simple as that, he was on to his next layer, the sulfur layer. The sulfur layer seemed like a very promising layer, cinnabar. And he wanted to make it half. So half it would be cinnabar, and half it would be sulfur. It's cinnabar thing in real life, because I know sulfur is, but it's cinnabar. Well, I don't know. Let's not ask questions, let's just play! Okay, now let's put down the sulfur. He put down lots and lots of sulfur. Actually, this side should be sulfur because then it's technically, next to the amethyst geode, maybe right over it. Then we could put down a bubbling thing. Or whatever it's called. Yo, these flowers are actually giving me health boost. I don't need that though because I'm in creative to tell the story. Okay, so he destroyed all of the cinnabar, realising the creature might catch on and he'll need a good pattern. So he replaced it with some more tuff. Then carried on with his sulfur cave. And he made some of it sulfur. The other half cinnabar. And he tried making it normal as much as he could. then he broke out the area where the amethyst was, so that then he knew where to put a lake. And this would be the main cave, obviously, because then it would just be flat. And a sniffer wouldn't catch on to that, right? And he also thought about the new sulfur spikes. But there aren't any cinnabar spikes, so the sulfur's more important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, this one is just going to do 4. Okay, so 7 layers for the sulfur, 4 layers for this cinnabar. So he built it all up until he had another layer complete, but not complete yet, as he needed to add in all of the potent sulfur. Thinking it was time for a break, then realising if his creature wasn't satisfied, it would evolve, break out, and might destroy him. So he needed to build this extra good. And you'll need to spawn it in and act like it was normal. So he would need to make it look normal too. So he put down a lot of water as well, just to make it bubbly water. And hoped that would make it so the creature wouldn't catch on. And it will also make the creature sick if it grows. And he thought maybe it was a good thing, hoping that wouldn't just power it. So he put down on the edges some sulfur spikes, making it look as sulfury as he could, so that it wouldn't catch on to any suspicion. And then he put down a lot of sulfur spikes in random spots, so that then it looked normal. And build a few of them up, and then build one of them up by this much, and it was looking all good. Until the creature started shouting from inside of his pocket it wanted out. So he needed to make this quick. When I say quick, I mean quick. So he needed to build a giant spike, and then the sulfur cave should have been complete. But he wasn't satisfied, because he also wanted to make it look like a player had been here, so that then the sniffer would believe it. As it doesn't know, that the sniffer does not know yet that it is a chosen one, and it will grow to be powerful. But we don't know that, so keep on watching! So he kept on building up, to make it look like a tiny base someone would build. And he was going to decorate the inside eventually. Put in some cinnabar as the base of the house. And then put down some stairs, hoping that it would think that this is just a little home someone built. Not knowing how smart it could become. And hoping it wouldn't. So he just built some more, put down some fence to top it off, and then it felt like it was complete, just needed a bit more details, like some chiseled. So he got into brick section and then realised there are also bricks of these guys. So he destroyed all of his current hard work and replaced them with the bricks, so that the creature would feel like it's in a normal area, somewhere where it belongs, so that it wouldn't escape. So he carried on destroying all of his current work and replacing it with even better work. Until it was complete. The Sulfur Cave house. Well, it It wasn't complete just yet, but a bit of it was complete. And that's something. Something. And he hoped the creature wouldn't catch on, or else he would be doomed. So he just built a cinnabar and sulfur staircase, as why wouldn't a player build that? Built up, jumped on top, and then carried on building. He wasn't crazy anymore. Now he just had to need to survive because he couldn't destroy creation straight off the bat, and he didn't know if he could kill it or not. So the best thing to do would obviously just be doing this. So he carried on with the bamboo and mangrove, trying to make it look normal, like some sort of decoration the player would put. Then put some more cinnabar bricks. And then finally finished the roof off with some more cinnabar and sulfur, but this time looking weirder. Or at least polished and fresh and new. But the real question was, would this creature evolve, or would it stay the same? Stay tuned! And no, I'm not leaving it. Yet, though. So he built something rainbow multicoloured, so that the thing wouldn't catch on. For the good. Didn't need a pointy roof. And then opened the doors, for it needed some more decorations on each side. By the way, you can copy the silver house idea if you like. And then wanted to add in some more nature to it. By the way, the soft cave is definitely my favourite biome in Minecraft. So he built some more stuff like this. And then just put down some fences. But then made it a bit bigger, trying to make an animal farming look. And it was successful! He had made an animal farm. So now it was just time to put in some sheep. Only sheep. And you'll see why. Now he grabbed some dye out of his inventory. And no, he didn't die. He grabbed some... never mind. And then coloured them in. And then he had it. A beautiful area that it would hopefully believe was a normal world. Not an illusion, but a normal world. And he finished the area. 2 beds. Shut the doors, because sniffers don't have that good of a taste, so they wouldn't realise. And then built up 1 notch. Because now he was building the normal ground. So he built some stone. Hoping that the thing would feel like it's in a normal area and not an illusion. And he put down lots and lots of stuff. And this would also do quite good with the trial chamber. But then he thought he would have to put in copper golems and stuff like that. And that might kill his creation, and it might be useful for something. So he just built. Until he decided it was time to add the last of the layers and finish. So now he just puts in lots and lots of dirt. And then puts in grass on top. But first all of the dirt. was planning on reinforcing the sides. Because then he might realise that the creature will know it's an illusion, but it won't be able to break out. Right? Right? He trusted himself and then just carried on building, ignoring what could have happened, or what could happen. So, he still wanted it to look like an illusion, so that the creatures could actually live. So he carried on. Until it was done, just needed a bit of bone meal and it would be complete. And he put in lots and lots of bone meal. Hoping it looked normal. And it turned out quite normal looking. Nothing that a Sniffer would suspect. At least he hopes. So he just put in an oak sapling. And I said he just put in an oak sapling and then bone mealed it. Bone meal. Work. Do your thing! And then he had it. Complete a grassland. Sven just grabbed out of his inventory a lot of obsidian. Because what couldn't break obsidian, right? Right. So he's planning on reinforcing it with obsidian and reinforced deep slate, as who could break that down? You'd need to be notched to do that, right? He hoped so. And he hoped that this wasn't some sort of notch sniffer. He thought maybe he shouldn't have splashed all of those potions down and actually got a normal pet sniffer. And then he realised, why is he crazy? And then stopped being crazy and then just carried on building it, thinking that that would be a waste of time. And it turned out quite well in the end. Thinking he could trick the Sniffer into thinking it was somewhere not in a cage. So he finished it off with the finishing details. And the cage was almost complete. Not yet. Not yet. So he just finished it off with a barry look. So then there would be two objects to break and it would be reinforced, right? Right. Not worrying about the bottom because it was already reinforced with bedrock and that was also naturally looking. And then his Jurassic Parky vibed cage was complete. Well, at least one part of it was obsidian. Or all of the obsidian parts and one part of the barry look was complete. He was happy. This universe wouldn't be destroyed, he hoped. Because you can only hope, you can't wish. So, he put down lots and lots of stuff, hoping that the creature wouldn't break through this. I mean, like, what could break through this? Nothing, right? Right. So, he just carried on building the cage and hoping that maybe the Sniffer wouldn't get tricked and try and destroy him. I mean, would get tricked and not try and destroy him. So, he just hoped for the best of it, carried on building. Then he realised some of the flower power was going through the cage and he didn't want to boost the Sniffer or anything because that could speed up evolution and that might be bad. So he destroyed all of the flowers and destroyed all of the greenery, picked up the flower and left there be no ritual so that the creature would slowly evolve. Hopefully slowly evolve. And soon it might become a sniffer. And it might not evolve. Stay tuned to actually find out. So he finished off the cage walls. Hoping this sniffer or the sniff wouldn't realise. Because that's his current stage, the sniff. Then a sniffer, and then a few more unknown stages that I'll tell you names when he reaches the stages. And it took long for him to build the cage, but he hoped it was complete real quick. Or else it would be bad news for him. Real bad news. Hoping that the Sandra or the Sniffer, no, the Sniff, wouldn't realise where it was. And think it was somewhere normal. So obviously play along was it normal. And it would all be good. He hoped. So he put it all up, and it was looking good. And then he wondered, what do you think the warden dimension would look like? Because he was building the right block to build the portal, but then thought, maybe I should try and figure that out for another video. Yep, another video is that. You heard me right, Warden's Dimension. Okay, and he carried on building. Until his cage was complete. Just one more flap. And his cage was complete. Sniff surely would be happy. Right. He hoped that the Sniff would be happy, and what a silly name is Sniff. And then he put the Sniff in and saw what it, and thought what it think of it. The Sniff liked it. But then it happened. The Sniff had evolved. The Sniff had now dropped to the floor. The Sniff had dropped to the floor and dropped something. It dropped some meat. He thought it was dead, so he tried cleaning it up. But then it evolved into a sniffer! It was a sniffer. It had more legs, a bigger nose, and was very, very happy. So, he carried on with his day. But then told it to do something. And then killed it with the staff, and then it respawned, testing how powerful it was. And then he realised it could respawn. And sometimes when it dies, it just grows even bigger. So he went to sleep, hoping for the best. But when he woke up, something very, very bad happened. The Sniffer was not in its cage. The Sniffer was not in its cage at all! It was somewhere else, out of the cage. Okay, what's doing? The Sniffer had disappeared. I said, the Sniffer had disappeared. And when he came back, the only thing he was left with was a giant hole in the wall. A giant hole in his reinforced walls. And no Sniffer. and the Sniffer had escaped. But the next time he found him, it was already too late. It had gotten magical powers because it had been born specially. Maybe killing it would, maybe putting it down would help. So that's what he done. But then it came back as two. So he tried firing some more wither bullets at them. They died, but then 3 came out of the dead. And then 4 came out of the dead, 5, 6. And now there was one baby one. But that baby one was actually the leader. That baby one was actually the chosen one. Until all of them started dying. But little did he know that it was bad. So he waited. And all of the Sniffers had finally been killed. Now there's just one more left. And when it died, he had finally cleared this apocalypse. 256 years later. Man, I'm actually, 16 years later. Man, I'm bored. Is there anything to do other than just walking out here? Wait, what is that? A giant cave in the danger zone. Okay, let me use my elytra and stuff to fly up here. Weird. Until he found it. The last survivor. He killed it as quick as he possibly could. But then it came back. And for 16 years ago, it had evolved. But him killing it 16 years after the instant had made it reach its final stage. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the prefer. This phase, this is the prefer. The flowery one. The third phase is the prefer. And now it's time. The Sandra. The Sandra had been born a massive and powerful creature with the heads of Sniffs. So he beat it up. Fired all he could at it. Until it came to the mushroom TNT. In seconds it was a battlefield and people were launching bombs at it, but then they were getting destroyed by it. It was not passive, it was attacking. It hobbled up a few people and then spat them out, but they were already baby Sniffers. And more people started bombing it, damaging it more and more. Until one dumb person decided it was time to end it. But he wasn't dumb. He was using the power of the wither. Until it had happened. He was Wither God! Look at me right now, I'm a Wither God. He was a Wither God. And being a Wither God gave you something. It gave you everything. It gave you something witheringly bad. The Wither Sword! And also this 3-headed ability. and he could fly now. So he fired some explosive skulls like a wither could at the Sniffer Sandra. After getting knocked back and it tried eating him, he then stabbed it with some withering swords. Its health was going down so quick. He shooted some more explosive skulls. Bang, boom, bang. Then started killing it some more with his withering sword. Until he had fully charged up. Now he was blasting rays of energy. Look, I've actually got the energy. Now he was blasting rays of energy at the beast. The energy attacked it so much that it didn't realise it was already going to get beaten up. Until the energy put it down. It was dead. There was only lots and lots of flesh left. And that was it for the Sniffer Sandra. But then he realised he had so much power. He started taking over the overworld. Defeating everybody with his wither powers. Shooting his wither skulls everywhere. And that, my friends, is the story. Day's out and now it's time. Time for the return of the Sniffers. 16 years later, they came back. Okay, I'm going to make part 2 of this. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. And for now, it is the day out. Whoop, bam.